Hi, my name is Lewis, and this is my second video out of one. I never really got into YouTube as much. My only video was about writing, and that was kind of a bummy video. I messed up the intro, so it was kind of weird. So I guess I want to say a few things about the whole Bethesda controversy. Is that I'm seeing a lot on the internet, and I've been listening to people's opinions and hearing their complaints. And so, what I'm thinking is I have a couple questions. It's like, I know that, I know what people are saying. A spade is a spade, a bad game is a bad game, but I haven't played it yet, so I don't know what the whole deal with it is. I hear the complaints that it's still the same bugs, still the same problems, but is really anybody asking the question that is Pete Hines, his job is to sell that game. And as a content creator or a creator myself, I understand as a novelist that you need stories. And so when I sit back and think about Fallout 76, someone on YouTube on a video said it's like writing a novel without characters. And as a novelist, I started thinking about that. And in a way, they wanted to make your own fun. So I think that they lived up to. And I'm from Virginia, and I thought, okay, you know, and from what I heard, they stuck to some lore of West Virginia. So I gotta respect where respect is due. So when I look at the scope of the negativity surrounding it, I'm not it I'm not Fallout's biggest fan, but I just don't like trash talking a company and hating on something, hating on a company for choices that they make. They don't come to YouTube and look at all our opinions. And that's kind of a bitter pill for most people to swallow. It, if you're especially a millennial, it's hard to swallow. And most likely, when it comes down to it, Bethesda isn't going to take our opinions seriously, just like EA, or because when you want to do something your way, you have to sit in their shoes and say, we can't just go to every fan and say, what do you want to do with this? Because as a content creator or creator of novels like myself, you don't really look at what everybody else says and apply it to what you're doing. The idea that something is a copy of a copy is a sickening thought to me. And as a novelist, you're really not supposed to just follow everybody's lead. Maybe that happened with Bethesda when they said, with the loot boxes, the the paying for extra stuff. I do find problems. In a way, though, if you have the money and you can cheat, maybe it's easier to cheat. But in a way, I have to fault Bethesda for not putting a story in there. I call a spade. But one thing I did like about the idea is that Fallout you could play with friends is that no one wants, as I've written in a post apocalyptic novel, and I'm not here to plug that right now though, but the idea of facing the end wasteland alone is a scary idea, which is why in my book selection, uh, I'll probably post a link for it down below. I probably I didn't like the idea of facing the end alone. So in my book, I made the writer character have a female companion who he teaches how to write. So when it comes to the end in any post-apocalyptic setting, numbers mean more than individuality when you're facing the end. So when it comes down to it, I can see where they were going with it, and that sort of won me over as the non-Fallout fan. But I can't ignore what people are saying, but I do understand where Bethesda is coming from as a content creator. And this is no way apologizing for the game. If you hate it, you hate it. If you love it, you love it. I mean, I just I don't like bashing people for things that they make. So, I mean, no one really see as a novelist, novelists really don't look into what the audience wants. That wasn't a practice until I think video games were made. Not until video games were made is that when people had to study the audience, and Don DeLillo, who is probably one of the best living writers right now, has said that you have to study a crowd in a baseball stadium watching a ball fly in the air and not the woman undressing in the window. So with that being said, Don DeLillo was maybe ahead of his time when it came to novels and what he thought of as the audience reaction. When it comes down to it, no creator, whether game company or anything else, ever thinks about the audience. Because when you're creating your own vision, you kind of have to ignore what most people think. So when it comes to Bethesda, I don't fault them for that. They tried an idea, you know, maybe they shouldn't have lied, maybe they shouldn't have done all the things that, you know, to mislead people. But I'm only looking at this as a grown up and saying, I don't think Pete Hines is the one to blame because he had to sell it. But in a way, you can't really. I mean, if you think about it, most art is about individuality. And I think concerning Fallout 76, you bring your own individuality into it and you can make up your own stories. That part I'm kind of looking forward to in terms of Fallout 76. I'm not this draconian person who needs story to sort of propel me to like something. I've written novels where most of it is character arc and plot was really mostly missing. But concerning Bethesda, they tried something and you could say failed right now, but if if you understand like the beginning of Diablo 3, Diablo 3 was not liked. It was hated hated and hated and hated until I think the collector's the full complete edition came out. So maybe this game will get better with updates and time and make people, like the game. And maybe they'll do a Diablo 3 with it, give out all the content with it. So, with that being said, it is about 6:30 in the morning. It's up, finished my 51st novel. So, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you think I'm wrong or right. If you want to like, subscribe, please like and subscribe because I really want to make this more of a pressing matter to post stuff on YouTube. And I guess with YouTube, opinions matter. So, thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day. See you next time.